Hello.
Hey, Sandra.
Just me?
Just you
Oh, okay.
with a nice blank background. Look at both of us.
Oh yeah, it's almost the same color.
Clean slate.
Except you have a flat wall. I like flat walls much better than this, like whatever it is.
It's called, the color is clean slate gray.
It's like, did you choose it?
No,
Okay.
it was already like this.
Okay. I've been told that many millennials like gray. But
Yeah, yeah.
what's
Color.
up with that?
Yeah, I saw an interesting graph the other day about color and how it's leaving everywhere. Everywhere we look, everything is turning towards like muted, more shades of gray for everything, which is really strange. I think it's a symptom of overstimulation.
Interesting. I actually was thinking about talking about colors with you, but I also want to say, like, if I'm the only person and I know you're really busy and have a lot going on, if you need to, I just want to,
If nobody else shows up here in like 15, 20 minutes, then we can do whatever. But I'll always keep it open until like 10:30, just in
okay.
case anybody does show up.
I just want to,
I've
yeah.
just put the time aside, so
Okay.
it's in my schedule.
Okay. All right. Well, so I'll ask, is there anything, well, we could talk about color. I will share with you. So I've been looking to change the colors because I don't like the gray. And I put a few different colors on the wall. And it was fascinating because I did the assess and reassess and just looked at the
Hmm.
colors, and there was a huge difference.
Hmm. What was your best color?
Well, they're all kind of a light green,
Hmm.
but there's a white, but the cold color, the one that they call cold, was much better than any of the warm colors, which I thought would be the
Hmm.
opposite with me because I hate cold blue light. But the one that was they consider like I don't know how they determine what is cold and what is warm exactly. I don't quite understand that.
Um,
But
I think it's like the color spectrum, like blue. Anything towards that end is more cool, and red is more heat, hot,
but if
and
it's a
work
green,
backwards.
like the green that has more blue in it versus more red in it,
Yeah,
or
green kind of sits right in the middle.
yeah,
It's pretty neutral, but
yeah,
you could bias towards warmer or cooler, I guess,
yeah.
with shades of blue or red. But that's fascinating. I mean, it kind of fits, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was like, why don't I just do an assessment? I have to pick a color. Let's do a color that gets a good assessment.
Yeah, I mean, well done.
Yeah.
I'm harping on my clients all the time. Use your assessment, not for neuro drills, for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Kate, we are talking about paint colors. So there we go. I know she's.
Thank goodness. I will tell you just briefly, I told Sandra I got off that call and was shaking. In my head, I know, I see you laughing at me. It's okay. I see you. I got off and I realized I was shaking. And in my head, I'm already thinking about 20 years down the future. What is this like? What kind of world are my kids going to grow up in? Like all of the beautiful things that make people beautiful and contribute to society. I'm like, I was on the wheel and my brain was like and
Mm.
but I didn't realize like till I got off and that I was shaking. Like I was really deeply affected. And then I saw that it said AI on the last call and I was like, well, thank you for intervening in my life again, universe, because I couldn't have handled that 2 days apart. So paint colors I am here for. I can officially stay. Although I have to listen and run, but I
Well,
will
we don't.
stay.
Okay, so do you want to talk about it?
No, I don't. I don't. I talked, Sandra's already heard it. I want to hear paint colors. And
That's great.
yeah, I
Let
couldn't
me just,
believe how much it tripped me out. Like, I really was like, wow, you're physically shaking over a
yeah,
conversation about AI. But I was 20 years in the future, Brandon. I was
yeah,
like,
right.
I was feeling all of the things, which, you know,
Did you fix it?
um, No, I think that's going to require me moving what color circle on my insula to get out of the one where I feel for all of the insects and the bugs and the I have a
Yeah.
lot more work to do than fixing it.
Well, I just mean in that moment, were you able to help yourself?
Oh, not have a spiraling meltdown over AI?
Yeah.
Yes, I put in an audiobook and I shut it down. Not the
Okay,
healthiest
great.
way, but I got done what I needed to get done, which was to get to my appointment and stop worrying about how the world was collapsing around me.
So
That's
I'll
what.
just I'll just say this and then we'll move to pink colors.
Okay.
Number one, sounds like you found a great opportunity for diving in a little deeper and figuring out what kind of beliefs are under there and, working that shit out. Number
Well,
two,
there's a lot of opportunities for that.
there's a lot of opportunity there, but the amount of charge is directly relative to the amount of threat, right, that it can be producing underneath the surface as a subconscious belief, right?
Yeah.
So it might be a big opportunity. Number two, it just reminds me of this bias that we have towards negativity, negative information. And that's a perfect example because it's really easy with a subject that is so polarizing and impactful on every part of our society, as this new thing called AI is. It's really easy to spiral in the negative direction. And then you start seeking out negative information around it. But I mean, like, I'm not trying to disparage or say that you're wrong in any way, but like the way that you and I are viewing this is very different, right? So is that just because I'm an overly optimistic and maybe naive person? I don't think so. I think it's because I have all of those thoughts too, right? But I'm able to really dive in and focus and on the good that can come out of it and be optimistic and also be realistic too. But focus on the good that can come out of it and really highlight that. And it can take work. I was just talking to somebody about this yesterday, um, about the whole reason that we count wins, the whole reason that we um, have a gratitude practice. It's all about skewing that negativity bias towards something more positive. It's a non-negotiable in all my work with all my clients, and I've been slacking on it. So good reminder for me. But um, it's because it's so powerful and important. Because they're like, I mean, we could go all day just about this negativity bias, right? And how on the one hand, the world is falling apart and all of it's going to shit. Apocalypse is looming, right? But also, that happens like every 50 years. Last time it was, I mean, the Cold War, right? That was a big deal. Before that, we had World War One and Two, and the Civil War before that. And even just without wars, we had nuclear, we had um, the internet. Everything was going to fall apart when the internet hit. Do you guys remember that? Y2K?
Like today.
Oh my goodness.
I got
I
my
was
gas that night. I don't know about you guys.
I was in seventh grade and we had like a big New Year's Eve party at this girl's house. There was like 50 seventh graders and eighth graders there, and their parents cut the power at midnight. Hilarious. Hilarious joke. But some of the seventh graders and eighth graders in there that were a little bit more sensitive and
Oh,
a
yeah.
little bit more like their parents were probably not helping too much in this, bias towards the world is ending right now. They freaked out and they were like screaming and it was Armageddon for them. And I'm over here like, oh, it's happening, you know? So again, we're all kind of set up to be a little bit biased towards everybody's biased towards negative information, but some of us are maybe more biased, and that comes from history, nervous system regulation, like hypersensitivity, whatever, all the things. So that's great. That's also kind of a superpower in a lot of ways, right? Because you're very good, you're going to see all the little things. You're attuned to them. But it's good to pick out the good stuff too, sometimes. And especially if you can't control it. Like, yeah. So that's
Well, yeah, it's
um,
about negativity bias, about survival, right?
yeah, it's all about survival.
Yeah.
So yeah, rant over. Let's talk about pink colors.
10 colors. Okay.
Um, yeah, Sandra.
So that's interesting. So millennial gray is because it's overstimulation. Okay.
Oh yeah, Kate. So um, before you hopped on, we were talking about both of our walls are gray, and how I changed my background from it was kind of busy to clean slate gray. Um, and Sandra had mentioned how a lot of millennials and Gen Z types are like shifting away from colors to more shades of gray in the clothes that they wear and everything else, the cars that they drive, everything.
Oh,
And
interesting. I didn't notice that. Okay. Yeah.
yeah, and so I had mentioned that I saw this graph about this exact thing and how you remember like I grew up in the 90s, so that's what I remember the most, but 80s too. I mean, it started back in like the 60s. This explosion, cultural revolution, and colors everywhere. Don't know if LSD had any part in that. That's who knows. But colors exploded and then they were everywhere, right? And they've kind of stayed that way. And then I remember like it kind of went down for a little bit in this graph and then kind of back up in the 80s a little bit. And then it peaked again in the 90s. Like 90s were crazy. Like everything was super colorful. Um, and then since then it's been kind of going down. But recently, I think in the past like 5, maybe up to 10 years, it's like falling off a cliff. And everything is like shades of gray. And colors are just falling off. And my theory is that um, it's because the stimulation with phones and social media has become so overpowering and overstimulating that they're choosing dullness in other areas of their life to self-regulate a little bit. That's my theory.
That's fascinating because well, you're wearing blue. I'm wearing blue too. We got the blue, but I love colors. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're they're amazing, and they have great effect on your brain, which is kind of
Yes.
the point of this whole conversation. But um, I myself have found that I have also done a little bit of that. I have only a few colors that I usually wear in my clothing, and they're black, white, shades of gray, usually just black and white, really. Um, and then shades of blue. That's really about it. Sometimes I'll throw a little splash of red in there, but that's usually, and it's all about, number one, it's about the paradox of choice. I don't want to make more decisions. It's the Steve Jobs idea, right? He wore the same black turtleneck and jeans every day, everywhere he went.
How many pairs did he have?
He must have had quite a few, unless somebody was doing laundry for him all the time. But I've seen my closet do kind of the same thing. I'm getting rid of all the stuff with all the writing and symbols and stuff on it and going for just plain, usually blacks, whites, and then maybe a blue here and there. Because blue is my favorite color and it's the one I respond best to. Crazy, I know. And then black and white because they're just easy and they go with everything. So I don't have to think. Um, yeah.
I have one question I have, and then I have to show you something, or I want to show you something, is it different when you're looking at something versus using colored glasses? Like, what's
A
the difference
little bit,
between the two?
but
Because
not really.
as I'm trying to look at, like, pick paint colors, I'm just
It's
wondering.
not that different. The only difference is the size. Like when
Yeah,
you're wearing color glasses, everything has the tint on it, so it's more
yeah,
impactful. And it's also cutting out colors. Like when I look at your wall, I'm still getting the blue teal color from your shirt
yeah.
and like the brown in your hair and the purple in your pants. Like those are still coming in. So it's less impactful a little bit, but it's the same. There's shoot, I don't even know what the video is called, but there's this wild video of this man who has a crazy not dystonia, but I can't remember what it's called, but like his basal ganglia is severely malfunctioning and his cortex and he's always constantly moving and he's moving and he can't control his head or his limbs and he's just making like circles all the time and he can't stop until you put blue glasses on him.
Oh, I've seen that video. They showed it somewhere. Yeah,
It's I saw it in like the Z Health
yeah,
curriculums.
yeah.
Um I know he pulled it from the internet, I just don't know. I gotta go search it out for myself. But anyway, incredible change from like can't control his movement at all to puts on these glasses and he's pretty stable. There's some movement, but he can walk and do his thing. It's a dramatic change. Then they take the glasses off and it's right back to this totally uncontrollable movement. And then they take just a sheet with the color blue and they put it right up to his face and he stops. And then they start pulling it away and it's at
Mm,
about maybe 6 feet, and it's just an 8 by 11 piece of paper. About 6 feet away is when the shaking starts to come back in.
hmm.
So even just stabilizing his gaze on that color. So like everyone around him should be wearing blue all the time.
You should paint all his walls blue
All
and
his walls should be blue. Yeah, 100%. Because that is the color that, and again, to your question, it does not matter when when he's wearing the blue glasses, obviously that's more convenient because he can look at the rest of the world and he's got that blue tint. Um, but no, it doesn't matter.
I was wondering because blue is also blue my favorite color, but when I wear blue glasses, I get a terrible result. But I don't
Interesting.
know if it's just because of the shade of blue, if it's a cold blue, and maybe I'm drawn to other kinds of blues that I'm more
Maybe.
green in them.
I don't like the blue, but I like the teal.
Yeah, that's one. Yeah,
Yeah, the teal is one of my best colors.
yeah.
It's got a little green in it. It's not so intense.
So speaking of color, I just want to share. I went to the state fair, and they always have fun clothes at the state fair. So look what I got. Look at all the colors on this one.
Nice. That's awesome.
It's not
That's
usually
awesome.
clothes I wear either, but I just was like, okay, gotta get one thing at the state fair besides like
Yeah.
something right on a stick. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got a bunch of clothes like that in my closet, and they're special occasion clothes with crazy patterns and all sorts of fun stuff. When I was in college, I had surgery on my throat to fix sleep apnea and tonsillitis and all sorts of fun stuff. And
Poor humans.
yeah, mo most painful thing I've ever experienced in my life. And for 2.5 weeks, I did nothing but pop pills and play Tiger Woods golf on the Wii. And during that time, I also tie-dyed a bunch of clothes. I don't know why. It was just in my college hippie phase. It was kind of fun, but yeah, all sorts of different clothes with colors everywhere. Actually, if you looked at most pictures of me from college, I was very colorful. Yeah, the color psychology is a fascinating subject. But I've noticed as the amount of decisions I have to make every day goes up and up and up, that's one thing I don't want to make a decision on. So my closets become fairly bland for the most part. But the strategic use of color can be a powerful tool for brain activation or inhibition.
That's what I'm trying to figure out with walls, and so but I could drive myself crazy working and trying to get the right one and spend.
I mean, it sounds like you already found
I
a pretty
found,
good choice.
yeah, I don't want the whole place to be the same color. So
No, I would actually, yeah, I get that. I would.
like think about what I want the feeling to be in different rooms also. Like
Hmm.
one room is more stimulating, or I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'd paint your gym red. Maybe
Ugh.
not.
See, actually, no, see, this is one idea. If I was different person, I think it would be so amazing to have a gym where you had like first of all, they had this thing in I've seen it in Maui and Kauai where they have weights that are wood color
Mm,
as opposed to the metal black and white. And
hmm.
like to have a gym where I've seen like pink weights for women, right? But to really have a gym that the colors can correlate, like the
Yeah.
equipment have different colors. Because part of the one I mean, there's the lights in the gym. It's frustrating because I can't really go in a gym yet. I'm
Yeah,
getting,
in my gym, I will change the lights for sure.
thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, what colors would to make the walls and also the equipment could be
Yeah.
really interesting.
Yeah, I think I've thought about this a little bit, and I would have different lights for sure. And I try to just have natural light as
Yeah,
much as possible, like glass roof. That's
yeah.
what I'm talking about. But also painting,
Arizona. Yeah.
it might be a little rough. But you could tint it. But anyway, and then painting different walls, different colors. And you can stand and face the wall of your good color.
Yeah.
And you can wear glasses too,
Yeah.
because that's going to change the shades of the colors. And yeah, like I was working with a client recently, and green was terrible for them. And of course, they're a field sport athlete playing on a green field. Not good. However, uh, when we put green glasses on them and then put blue over the top of them, they got a great result. So it just changed the shading of the green with a little more
Yeah.
tint of blue, and it was really powerful. But blue by itself also not that great. So it's interesting as you start to mix colors and the results you could get. Another client, soccer athlete, hated reading. I've talked about it many times. Young kid, yellow glasses, just because it improved contrast, made every color better, right? Tried blue by itself, put yellow over the top, much better. Green by itself, not that great. Yellow over the top, much better. So his problem was more about contrast sensitivity than it was about anything else. Peripheral awareness, visual acuity, colors. He just needed more contrast, and then everything got better. So fascinating. Yeah, the problem, that I could see coming up with all those different colors. Have you ever been in there's a gym at Venice Beach. It wasn't Gold's Gym, it was something else, but it was built by a hippie on LSD from the 60s. It was like tie-dyes, rainbows, every color splashed on every surface. Like you walk in there and it's like, whoa, this is insane. This is like maybe a little too much. Scale it back a little bit. And then there's like one piece of pure white equipment in there. And it stands out like the Holy Grail.
Like,
Yeah, which is cool. Kind of fascinating too. The juxtaposition. Um, I wonder if I'm sure there's lots of studies around that idea. Just never read any of them.
yeah, about the color, but I'm curious why no gyms haven't incorporated that. Is it just,
Yeah, it's kind of fascinating. I know at Lifetime, they're just really plain,
yeah.
sure on purpose. It's all black, whites, and grays, and then wood. They have wood kind of dispersed through it, like in the floors somewhere, in the trim, and it looks good. The aesthetic is really nice, but they're clearly not playing with any colors in any way. They're doing the opposite, removing most of it.
Yeah. There's, I don't know if Lifetime began here or there's a huge one here. Like
Yeah,
there's,
Chanhassen,
yeah.
Chanhassen, Minnesota, which is near the Twin Cities, right?
Yeah, it's not that far from here. Yeah, it's like my dad was a member from all the different iterations. So, because he's a big tennis player. So,
Mm,
and in Minnesota, because of winter, but always like the gyms here always seem to be at the highest level quality with the technology.
mm. I know a couple years ago they opened up the live work like the Lifetime Village. I don't know what it's called, but it's the live work play where they have it's a whole apartment complex built
Oh,
by Lifetime
oh,
with like good food restaurant options on the property, like trying to create an entire little city, little village built by Lifetime.
that I didn't know about. What kind of paint colors do they have?
I think it's all pretty dull.
Ah,
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I thought that was kind of a fascinating idea. Kind of,
yeah.
yeah, like a makes me think of the broader concept of kind of the way that I see, or maybe this is just the optimistic side of me that sees where our society's kind of moving back towards, which is away from this mass urbanization and concentration of people to spreading out a little bit more, like we used to in rural communities, where you can still have like everything you need within a small community, with farms close by and ranches, and so you can get all the food and and everything that you need.
Is it in a suburban area? It's outside the city, this village?
No, I mean, I know that, some Democratic politicians had this idea about these 15-minute cities, which I don't agree with, but the concept I think is interesting about having everything you need um, around right where you're at.
Ah, like a village used to
Yeah,
be. Yeah.
exactly. Um, they're the only the only places I know that are actually doing that fairly well are rural communities. Like up in Montana or in Arizona, there's a lot too. Um, but the highly concentrated urban areas are not doing it well. Around here, you have all your suburban areas and they're trying to do it, but they're just carbon copies. And then they're still bringing in food on big trucks from wherever. There's not, you have to work hard to find like local produce and local farms and dairy and meat and everything else. So it's not quite there yet. But I think that's the way I mean, that's the way I think it should be going. Regenerative farming and getting away from, hauling my produce, like hauling my oranges from Florida when we can grow great citrus here. Like, what is happening?
They
Why?
say like Hawaii imports like 90 to 95% of everything.
That blows my mind because Hawaii is such a
Yeah,
amazing climate for
it used
growing things.
well, it used to be the estimate that between 400 and 1,000 and 1,000,000 people lived in Hawaii before Western contact.
Mm,
And everything was self-sustainable. They had a brilliant system for how they used the land,
yeah,
divided it and used the water. But then the sugar and plantation folks came and they made the water go just to their plantations, and that destroyed the whole ecosystem.
yeah,
And so there are definitely people who are trying to do the regenerative agriculture and build and grow things.
yeah, but they're fighting against the tourist industry and
Yeah.
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 Well, where I live in Kentucky, they it's right now where I am, maybe in the last 5 years, it's turned into a vibrant um, support of local farmers. So almost everything that Karen and I get to eat are from local farms
Awesome.
and in season. It is very awesome.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And I'll say around here, it's a little better than some areas of the city.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have a local farmers market and we have the means to get some like ethically sourced and uh I don't know what other buzzwords they are, but properly raised meats, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Um, but it costs more and we have to travel for it. And I know
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of people that don't have that opportunity, like in South Phoenix and some of the lower socioeconomic spots, food deserts. Yeah, we definitely have some of those here, which is unfortunate. But I'm grateful that we can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're very fortunate and we make sure we take advantage of it. Of course, the food is a little more expensive. And it's so even there are farms, we actually can go to the farm and get things. So it hasn't always been like that.
Hmm.
So we're certainly grateful and work to support them.
Yeah. That's what you got to do.
Hmm.
Vote with your dollar.
Hmm. Now, let me ask you this, Brandon, about the 7-day thing that you have offered.
Yep.
So with the 7 days, is there a little video that we'll have access to or what?
There sure is. Did you get my email yesterday?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So everybody should have gotten access if you're a member in Skool.
Uh-huh.
And so you just got to go into the course. Here, I'll show you.
Sweet. And I'm driving right now. So, but you go into the course. I went to the classroom. I didn't see it
Yep.
there.
It's in the classroom, probably all
Ah,
the way at the bottom.
okay.
7-day Vision Evolve protocol. And you just start at the top and work your way down. Do 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 do. There
Mhm.
are videos for everything.
Okay. Nice. Go ahead, Sandra.
I just sent an email that said vision. I followed the directions.
Nice job. Um,
Hey, reading is fundamental.
yeah. And thanks for replying to
You
that
do it.
email. But you actually don't need to. You guys are already in the Skool community, so I had my assistant just go give everyone access that had registered for the
Okay.
workshop. There are like 8 to 10 people that are not in the Skool community that registered. So
Yes.
the ones
Yeah.
that, they need to join the community because that's how you get access to the course. But You guys should be in there. So just go to the classroom. All the way at the bottom is the 7-day protocol. Follow the videos. Super simple.
7-day protocol. Okay, and then the $50, what's that for?
You don't have to pay that because you registered, so you got access for free.
Oh, but they can.
Yeah, anyone can buy it if they want.
Okay.
Yeah. You
And
guys get it for free because you gave your email.
and so tell me about your paid community.
The paid community is awesome. It's a much more step-by-step process of working yourself from, an athlete in pain to your own peak performance. And so it's got all of the applied neurology information in my head, um, with the athletic performance background that I have, physical therapy, corrective exercise, nutrition, metabolics, and the mindset training and flow state coaching that I
Oh
do.
boy.
So it's all worked into essentially like a step-by-step course. Um, which I'll just show you right here what it looks like. It goes through 3 phases. Phase 1 is pain relief, then we build a better athlete, and then we chase peak performance. So it's all kind of, it follows the idea of get out of pain first. And so a lot of that is like essentially following, Matt's ladder framework that he talks
Uh-huh.
about. Nervous system regulation and inhibition, fuel, proprioception and sensory inputs, and then integration, which is in the next phase. But I've also put in like a big concussion recovery in the get out of pain part. And then we go to build a better athlete. So this is the 7 foundations for flow. Go into these in depth, and then we do neural patterns, and then we go deeper into the sensory systems, which we're still building out right now. And then phase 3 is all about peak performance and flow states. So we've got a bunch in here on mindset, flow, triggers, and everything, how to find it in different areas. And then brainwave states, music, a bunch of extra tools and things that you can leverage to perform better, make your brain better. And then there's just like a bunch of extra stuff like the Vision for Clarity challenge, the mindset challenge that we've done in this community in the past. And those are just extra courses that anybody can go through at any time. And these are set up to follow like step by step, but of course, like anything, you could absolutely just jump around to whatever's relevant for you.
Already. I'll make it pound.
So that's the idea. Right now there's 10 members in there, which is nice. And the big thing is I show up and I do trainings and coach 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for an hour.
Really?
I'm in there coaching and teaching. Yeah.
3 days a week for an hour.
Yep. Yep. It's a good time.
And do you do it based on who shows up, or do you have a plan? How do you?
I have a plan and I teach regardless. But if
Gotcha.
like nobody showed up yesterday, so I just did a Loom video of the lesson that I was gonna do. On kind of the stages of change model and how to, see where you're at and help people based on where they're at. And
And the video is 15 minutes? 10, 15?
it's an hour-long call, but
Right.
that only took me about 25 minutes to do that lesson. Sometimes more, sometimes it's less. Like I did the concussion recovery, and that took 4 weeks to do all of that because it's just a lot of information. But anyway, yeah, I just show up and I teach regardless. I have a plan, but also the people in the group are dictating what we do next. Right? We did concussion first because there's a member in there who has had 2 major concussions 15 years ago, and she's like, I'm joining this group because I want to learn how to take care of my concussion recovery. I'm like, all right, well, we'll do that next. So, the basics are all kind of already there, but we're building out the supplemental stuff and filling in gaps kind of based on what people need.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um, and I'm sure once it's all in there and perfect, then we'll start redoing all of it over again just to make it better. And kind of where my head's at with it right at the moment is, first of all, the free community is going to change dramatically.
Mhm.
Not dramatically. Don't be dramatic, Brandon. Come on. But it will be changing because I really am trying to simplify as much as I can, and leave in there the tools that are the highest payoff that will get people quick wins and results, and then keep them moving, because most people in this free community are not doing anything. They sign
Mhm.
up because it looks cool, and then I imagine they just get overwhelmed with all the stuff in there and they don't have a clear path of what to do. So I'll give you guys a little sneak peek of what it's going to look like. This is the free community. This is the classroom right now. And you can see these things. All of these are drafts, so you can't actually see those. And then we got all of these that are in there. So this is going away. This is going away. And I'm going to keep this, this, and this. This is going away also. This is gone. This is gone. And it's going to be just this. You've got these, essentially these 9 things, and you just follow them step by step. Here's your first steps. Here's a bunch of testimonials and other stories from people. Here's the roadmap. Super simple. It's one video. Just watch this. This is how you go from A to B. And then here are the tools: the inhibition ladder, opposing joints, nerve mechanics, proprioception, vision and vestibular, breathing. And they're all geared specifically to pain.
Mhm.
That's it. Like if you want to go further, you can watch this little course on the flow cycle. That should like stoke the fire a little bit. I don't know how much of this I'm going to keep in here, because people can go in here and spend 100 hours just
Oh, the weekly calls, right.
on all the weekly calls.
Yeah.
And that's cool, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this behind,
Your paid wall.
I don't think I'll put it behind a paywall, but I think I'll make it like you have to get to level 3 in order to unlock this.
Ah,
I need to put some friction in there, because you can
yes.
just go in there and just waste time. Not that it's a waste of time, but it's kind of not super productive. But this stuff is like, go do this stuff, apply it, and get some change. And then if you want to take it a step further, you can do the VIP, or we can do one-on-one coaching. That's the
Well,
idea. And this will behind a paywall.
okay. Well, what I want to say to you, Sandra, and I think it was Catherine, the last call on Thursday, you all talked a lot about AI and what it offers and all of that. However, I agree with you all's conclusion is that at the end of the day, you need a coach.
Yeah. Even coaches need coaches.
Coaches need coaches.
We all
I
do.
know when I was
Blind
dancing,
spots.
when I was dancing professionally, when I went to a class, if the instructor did not critique or tell me, oh, tuck this or press that, I was like, why am I here?
Mhm.
So I agree with that. And with you having less out there, and when you go through that coaching things that you're going through on building business, what are they suggestion about how much is free, how much has a little friction and all of that?
Yeah, they agree. And that's a big part of the reason why I'm doing it, because they're telling me you got way too much going on.
Okay.
People just get lost and confused.
Mhm.
So it needs to be simpler. It needs to be more clear, the path from A to B.
Cool.
So that's what's coming. I gotta go. I'm gonna teach mentorship here in a second.
Yay.
But thanks for your feedback. Thanks for your questions. Great conversation today, as always.
Always.
And yeah, I will hopefully see you guys very soon.
Yay.
All right.
Bye
Have a
now.
great day, guys.
Bye, Zoe.
Bye.